so you're not speaking.
Hi there, District 5170. This is Garrett Canese, your District 5890 Interact Governor, and I've been invited by the wonderful Lizette Oldfolk to come out and talk to you all today about Interact. I hope you're all having a wonderful day, as am I, and I hope it continues to be good. What I'm here to do today is inspire and inform you about Interact, and to give you all a basic foundation of who we are, where we came from, what we do, and of course how you can begin to interact with us. And so we're basically going to start off on a couple things. What is Interact? Well, Interact is basically a student-based service organization, just as Rotary is an adult-based student service organization. Interact stands for International Action, but that's not all we're about. We're also about local and regional action as well, and this action, of course, is represented through service above self. Now, the most important thing that we can say about Interact is that we would not be here today if it weren't for you all as Rotarians, for your support and for your initiative on getting the ball rolling and giving us the opportunity to implement service above self in our own schools and communities. And so every day when I see an Interactor, I make sure that they understand that without our Rotarians, we would not be here. And without their support, we would not be as successful of an organization as we are. And that success, via the support of the Rotarians and via this fantastic group of students that we have every single year worldwide, has led us to become the world's largest student-based organization. For service above self and for service in general. And so we're extremely proud of that, but we also realize that it's a huge undertaking and it's a huge responsibility, and it's constantly a new set of shoes to fill, but it's constantly an opportunity that we are more than happy to take advantage of, and we are more than happy to fulfill the expectations of those on a worldwide scale, to fulfill those that are set for us as a student organization. And so basically, international action involves not only, like I said, international action, but involves local and regional action. And so what I want to talk to you about next, since we've kind of given you a basic idea of what Interact is, where we're coming from, and how we would not be here if it weren't for you all as Rotarians, I want to give you a basic layout of what we do as an organization. And it will interest you all for me to say that we do many of the things that you all do as Rotarians, and we participate in many of the same projects because, of course, we are all under the banner of what is Rotary International. And so it's very important for us to realize that, or that fact. And so by explaining to you the projects that we do, I'm able to make that connection between Interact and Rotary. So what are some of these projects? Well, we'll start off on an international level. One of the biggest initiatives that Rotary International has, and one of the largest initiative that it has had for many years now, is the fight against polio worldwide, the Polio Plus Society, the End Polio Now initiative. And Interact has taken this as one of their projects above and beyond what was ever thought. For us, it's a phenomenal thing because we realize, just as Rotarians do, that we are this close. And it's extremely important for us as student leaders and as servant leaders and as young, ambitious people with zeal and a desire to see a change in our world, to be able to recognize this opportunity, to be able to recognize the fact that in our lifetime we can make this be a disease that has been eradicated. And in the name of Rotary International, and with the help of Interact and Rotary and Rotaract and this, these subdivisions that we have, Interact and Interactors in general feel that we need to do our part. And so, for example, in just 5890 itself, we do many things to promote basically the Polio Plus project. So this involves service. This involves basically fundraising opportunities. This involves thousands and thousands of dollars being raised every single year in the name of Interact, just in 5890, the Houston area, to go towards vaccinating people on a worldwide basis. We also do projects that are very informative. We want people to understand that polio is still a global health issue. In America specifically, not only with students but with many adults, polio is not considered a health issue because it has been eradicated in American communities for many, many years now. And they don't realize, of course, the fact that polio is only a plane ride away. And it's so important for us not only to get the fundraisers going and to get the funds that we need to help vaccinate these people, but it's also so crucial to inform the community about what they're donating to and inform the community that we are a global we are a global force and we are dealing with a global issue. And so it's very it's a crucial aspect is information for these students and for these adults. And so what we can say from that is that Interact is playing its part in the war against, in the fight against polio. And so it's a huge thing for us. And Interact clubs across the entire world are constantly doing fundraisers and doing their part as a service organization under the banner of Rotary International to help accomplish this goal. Another project that we do in 5890 and in many other districts in Rotary International is we participate in a project called Rotary Books for the World. Basically what Books for the World is it is an initiative to provide learning materials and text resources to all students in need. What happened was we realized that we had a problem in many communities. Specifically, we started in South Africa where there were schools where there would either be one book per about 100 students or no books at all. And so you have this situation where there are textbooks being ripped apart to be distributed amongst classrooms and thus depriving any student from learning a full valued course material or being able to read an entire story all the way through. And on the more extreme side, you had students that had never seen a book in their entire life. They'd never held one. They'd never had one to themselves to be able to study and to learn from. And so a wonderful Rotarian that we have in 5890, his name is Angie Jimenez. He has gone leaps and bounds with this project, especially in the Houston area, to make it an extreme initiative. And over the past year, we've donated hundreds and hundreds of thousands of books to students all over the entire world to give them the opportunity to learn in the ways that we have. And so it's an extremely important thing for us, and we really enjoy being able to help them out in that respect. And so we've talked about kind of two international projects that, of course, given that 3170 is an international club, they're very relevant. And just for the next minute, I'm going to kind of touch on some of the ways that we get involved, like I said, on those local and regional levels. And so this involves our elderly, visiting them at their nursing homes and elder care facilities, letting them know that they have not been forgotten in our society. And so we reach out to them in that respect. We also, of course, are involved on a national level, usually with natural disasters, when things like that happen that are, out of human influence. And so we try to reach out to those communities as much as possible when things like hurricanes, tornadoes, forest fires, things like that happen. We do our best to reach out to those communities. And of course, on a much more local level, we try to operate within our school to represent service above self. And this means generically helping out a family in need here, or a student in need here, or a teacher that needs some help with something here or there, and letting them know that we are a student organization and a service organization that has not forgotten about the people just next door to them. And we really emphasize not only that international involvement, which is so phenomenal and it is so pertinent to the success of Rotary International, but also to the success within a local level and developing that relationship between Interact and the rest of the community. And so what we've talked about is basically what Interact is and where we came from and how we would not be here today without the support of you, the Rotarians. We've also given you a basic layout of how we operate and that we do many of the same things that Rotary clubs do. We operate in the same fashion with our clubs and our executive, our executive boards, our leadership hierarchy, and how kind of we operate on our own international, local, and of course regional level in the same ways that Rotary clubs do. So the last thing I want to talk to you all about is this pendulum that shifts both ways, in which you can aid your interactors and your interactors can aid you. And this developed for me on basically two types of service to each other. Inspirational service, which comes from the interactors to the Rotarians, and vocational service, which goes from the Rotarians to the interactors. So the inspirational service comes from you involving your interactors in your projects and your clubs, which, by the way, is going to make your project so much more successful. You're going to have so much more manpower of this very enthusiastic, very service-oriented, very responsible group of students that you can rely on, while you're also going to get to be inspired by their work ethic. And it's really great for a club to invite their interactors out and get to see how hard they work. However, on the other side of this, of course, you have you helping your interactors out in the sense that they can utilize you as professionals and as business professionals and as successful people as mentors in their life and as vocational from a vocational standpoint. Many students don't have that opportunity, and so it's very important for them to be able to get that. And so you as a Rotarian, as a successful person, can help them by telling them your story of how you became a successful person, how you can be, and how they can also become a Rotarian one day. And so basically that's how the pendulum shifts back and forth, and what we hope to accomplish through that is a strengthening within the family of what we call, of course, Rotary International, by interacting with each other through these different levels of service, whether it be adult service through Rotary or whether it be through high school or junior high based service, which is through Interact. It's so very important to us. And it's so very pertinent to the success of Rotary International as a whole, so that we don't fall apart from the inside out, and that we can rid ourselves of this stigma of people not realizing the connection between these organizations such as Interact and Rotary. It breaks my heart that too many times students believe that they have nothing to do with Rotary International, and they don't realize that without Rotary International we would not be an organization today. And so I want to finish this video once again by saying thank you so very much. I'll be posting links to our website for 5890 so that you can go follow them, and as well as some Interact links for our Books for the World project, which I urge you to go check out, as well as our Facebook page and other ways. If you'd like to contact me in any way, please feel free to do so. Please feel free to share this video with your clubs. If you'd like me to make you a personal video, I would be more than happy to. And once again, thank you, Lizette, for inviting me out here. I hope you all are having a wonderful day, and I hope, of course, I was able to achieve my goal, which was to inform and inspire you all on what is Interact. Thank you so very much.